Hi guys, welcome to the Short Score, a channel that brings you news, reviews, opinion, tutorials, all about the world of media scoring. And always our episodes are going to be under 15 minutes, so it's going to be short and snappy. I'm James, I'm going to be your host on the Short Score for the duration, and welcome. I'm really glad that you found your way here. First thing up though, if you're visiting for the first time, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and to keep an eye out for more future content. Follow us on Instagram and other socials, links below. Next thing, anything I talk about in this video, I'll try and link any other resources down below as well so that you can follow them. So, every Wednesday we're going to be releasing a video similar to this. It's all about tutorials to help you. And our first series of Wednesday videos is all about orchestral panning. And today we're going to dive straight into the world of string panning. Okay, so why panning? One of the things I found early on when I started out as a composer full-time was I was writing some really nice music, but the end result was terrible, and I hadn't had that much experience in panning, and I started having to go look at some resources and some things to help me out and work out how I could make my sound better. And panning was the very first thing that I looked into, and a lot of my advice came from a book that I'm going to link in the description below called Acoustic and MIDI Orchestration for the Contemporary Composer. Lots of stuff that I'm going to talk about comes from that book, and the link, as I said, is in the description below. So just a quick overview. Panning is the placement of sound in the stereo field. So that kind of, if you imagine it, it's almost like a semicircle between 2 points. And if our goal is to sound like a realistic orchestra, we must think like a real orchestra, and that's important. The orchestra has been sat the way it's been sat for a real number of years, and the reason why it's been sat like that is simply because the frequencies and the sounds blend together and work. So here we have our traditional string panning. Okay, so violin ones over the left, violin twos over the left, violas in center, cellos and basses to the right. And in general, in a traditional orchestra setup, that's where everything's going to sound. And it will sound nice, and you get that wonderful orchestral blend, whether you've been to a concert or not. Now, for some works, I'm a real fan of using the kind of traditional panning. If I was doing a big, full orchestral piece, then I might be tempted to go for more of a traditional string panning. But we're really focusing in on that smaller ensemble today, and that's the kind of example I'm going to give you. I am not a fan of, having a string quartet or a smaller string ensemble. It's not necessarily going to sit how our traditional string orchestra sits or necessarily. So we're going to look at this version here, which is alternative string panning, okay? So we've still got our violins on the left, we've still got our cellos on the right, we've got our violas in the center, but we've also got our basses in the center as well. And quite often, bass frequencies are going to naturally, if you're in a concert hall or a space, gravitate and take a sort of more central role anyway. And for lots of the pieces I write, I want the bass to be fairly prominent and really heard to help things move along. So that's why this is the kind of panning that I like to use. Okay, so here's our example one. I'm in my Logic template here, and you can see here's my string stack. I've got my violin one, violin two, viola, cello and bass all laid out. And at the moment, on the kind of panning, you can see across the pan, I've got everything panned to the center. There is some automation going on here, so there's going to be some dynamic changes. But let's just take a moment and just listen to this particular piece of music called The Hangman and see how it sounds with no panning. Okay, so there you go. Here's our second example now. So I've taken that and I've taken our alternative strings layout and I've moved the violins over, violin ones right over to left, violin twos over to left as well. Violas just ever so slightly off center, cellos a bit further over to the right there, and then basses just slightly off center to the left there. So pretty much exactly how we laid out, and that's going to create some space and separation. Let's have a listen. There you go. And for me, that makes a huge amount of difference. We've got some space, we've got some separation. I can really hear more of what I wanted to hear with that melody soaring up through the top. And I personally think if you get the panning right in your orchestral pieces, it takes it completely to new levels before you even need to worry about anything like EQing or any other things. There you go again, guys. That's our first ever tutorial done. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button, give it a thumbs up, and of course to subscribe for more content. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for more, and we'll see you really soon with some more content from the Short Score. Thanks very much.